I am going to just be cleaning cages, so feel free to ask questions. Wait for people to hop on if you're going to hop on. All right. Hi, thanks for hopping on. My name's Hope from Hope Sugar Gliders and Boutique, and I'm doing some drop pans this morning. So if you have questions about sugar gliders, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to get rolling with doing the drop pans. So thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate it. Feel free to ask questions. This is my cleaning cart. So I collected plates already, and then I used drop pan paper. It's packing paper, and odor ban, and then wet wipes, unscented, which kind of doesn't make sense. But I've got the cleaning supplies here that I may need. It's pretty standard cleaning today. Thank you guys for hopping on. My name's Hope from Hope Sugar Gliders and Boutique. Yesterday, people were asking me about my cages and what they look like. Now, I've actually, with the help of two friends, we've built my cages. We did that for a variety of reasons. One cage here is a longer, wider cage, and that's made for the top cage. Hi, thank you all for hopping on. This cage here is more designed for my handicap gliders. I've got a glider with eye issues. I've got a glider with no hands, and then her sister, who is actually probably, going to be moved out soon. But so this design is for more of a special needs cages. And then I've got the more standard cages, which is what you see here. They've got toys, wheel, pouch, and the basic necessities for gliders to be able to have enrichment. Thank you all for hopping on. I appreciate it. My name's Hope from Hope Sugar Gliders and Boutique. Please hit that follow. So I have gliders. People ask a lot of times. I have gliders that are my keepers. Like these back two cages over here, those are gliders who are retired. The top cage, I believe she's 9 and he's 6. And they're neutered. Down here, she's 6 or 7, and then he's 8, and he's neutered. So I have a variety of gliders. I've got my special needs down here, and I can show you their cages as I go. But I wanted people to see, one, my setup, so that way you can see why it's important to have toys and a wheel. And then 2, I built these. Me and my friend, her and her husband have been nothing but short of amazing. I went through a stage of having a really big kidney stone this last year, and I really kind of had to look at my limitations. The way I had my cages before, it was just really hard for me to do the cleaning, especially when I wasn't feeling well. I had a 14 millimeter stone, and it just knocked me out for like a half a year. And so I kept doing everything, but as I get older, it's going to get harder. So the things I hated about other cages, I fixed by building our own, and it's really easily movable, stainless steel. So a lot of work has gone into the setup. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I missed some of my church services I like to watch today, so I'll be watching them probably after this live. But and then I'll be going on later to do the daily devotional, and then also to maybe show you a glider or two. This cage here is my keeper pet only. I don't know if you can see how big it is. We of course built this too. So there's ladies in this big pouch here, and then they've got their toys and their wheel and their disc and all this other stuff. But yeah, so these cages are nice and large, and yeah. But this toy is one of my favorites. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a little school bus in pink and turquoise. So my cages all have themes. So I'm just, right now, I'm going to do some drop pans, but wanted to show you some of the variety of cages I have and we've built. So thank you guys for hopping on. If you're already not following, please hit the follow and boot my nose to get me out to the FYP. If you have questions about sugar gliders, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If I've missed questions, which I may or may not, this thing moves so fast that my eyes don't catch up with it. So sometimes I have to go back and look at old lives and see what the questions were and then address them in the new lives. So, but thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate it so much. And please hit that follow and ask questions. So I'm going to get started. One of my favorite things about this time of the year is having windows open. I love to keep the windows open, fresh air in. I have air purifiers, and then I have a dehumidifier. Right now we're coming up on rainy season here in Texas. And so the humidity collects, and so I keep the dehumidifier on. The way we built the cages is that there's no contact between the top and bottom, and so this is just a simple drop pan clean today. Nothing fancy. Oh, here it is. And gliders, for those that don't know, when they eat, they usually kick out the extra fiber. So if they're eating a piece of corn or if they're eating peas, they eat the insides and then spit it out. If they're eating chicken or eggs, they'll swallow some of it, but they essentially like suck the moisture out and then they spit it out. So your drop pans do get a little messy, but that's why you clean them a few times a week and you're good to go. Helps keep the smell down. Hi, thank you so much for hopping on. If you're already not hitting the follow, please hit the follow. My name's Hope from Hope Sugar Gliders and Boutique. I encourage you to, one, if you have questions about sugar gliders, please let me know. And then two, go through previous videos and kind of watch them and get to know me. I've been around on the Book of Faces for over 10 years. But on TikTok, I've only been here for maybe a year or so. But I've more so recently started doing lives. It kind of took me a while to figure out Book of Faces was my comfort zone, and so I'm kind of stepping out. But I was earlier showing, I've got different sizes of cages. These were cages that we built to kind of fit the needs that I was looking for. But we have one cage over here that I've shown in previous videos if you go and look. Thank you so much for the follow. I've got a special needs cage, which the cages are longer and a little bit more stout. I've got a huge girl colony cage over here that's designed to be able to have more gliders in. So for people wondering, these cages only have 2 gliders in them unless there's babies. And some of the cages are my retired keepers. And then my handy special needs ones are here, and they're my keepers. And then my pet onlys are my keepers. And then my very large colony is my boys. Odor ban, is it safe to use inside the cage? My pan is inside the cage. And okay, so that's a great question. You're going to get mixed answers. I have to be honest with you. Sugar gliders are such a controversial topic. And I know some people agree with... some people say you shouldn't own them. Some people say you should. Well, the gliders that I own have been captive bred. So it's not like you can just release them into the wild. So first of all, to take that away. Diet, cage size, and what goes in cages, and then basic care. I mean, everything is argued over with gliders. So when it comes to things, it's my opinion. And I don't want... people, I mean, they're your gliders, you have your choice. So when it comes to odor ban, some will say, no, it's not safe to use inside the cage. And in general, it's a chemical. I mean, and so when I'm doing it, my gliders don't have access, like what you're saying, to the drop pan. And so it kind of airs out. Plus I've got the breeze coming in today, and then I've got my air purifier. So there's a lot that goes into kind of filtering out the smell. But having odor ban does help cut down on the pee smell, because people ask all the time, what do gliders smell like? Well, they smell like chicken ramen noodles. I'm following you. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you, Momo. That's sweet. I, by all means, am not a chemist or a vet or anything like that, but I will refer you to my vet. And then I don't know if I know any chemists, but... So if you were doing your drop pan, it's okay to like wipe it down with the odor ban, but then just maybe go over it with just some water to kind of dilute down the smell. I usually do my drop pans during the day when they're sleeping, so it gives time for everything to air out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please boop that nose to get me out to the FYP, and share. Also, please follow me if you're not following me. So, yeah, I would definitely do a wipe down and give it a chance to air out before. Are you using fleece on yours, or what kind of cage do you have? I'm going to end up talking the whole time and not getting these cages done. And I'm trying to do a little family time with my husband today. So I wanted to get them done early and then have some family time and then come back later tonight. And all right, if you don't like mess, don't watch. I love your cages. Thank you. We built them. Hi, Nellie. Good. You can help me manage all this. Okay, so here's the drop pan. This has been maybe 4 days of mess. So let me explain it to you. So I've got wheels and I've got toys, and then over here, so if this was my drop pan cage, okay, the pouch is over here, sleep pouch is in this corner, a wheel where most of the mess is, okay, you can see all the poops and the pee right here. This is where the wheel is, because when they're running in the wheel, that's why having a wheel that has, I don't know, has an open track in it is so important, because the poop and pee falls down here. And then all these, like, let me show you. I'll wash my hands and everything. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. So right here, okay? I don't know if you can see this, but this is a pea, and it's essentially been hollowed out. They eat the innards and then toss the rest. Hello. Hope you're doing good. Wonderful person. I've known her for years. Oh, thank you so much, Mindy. Is this Mindy Nicole? Okay, so Mindy, if this is Mindy Nicole, say yes. But she's awesome, and she makes most of my toys. I just showed that bus earlier. She's one of those who made them. And so, yeah. For those that don't know, I'm still not able to... Oh, no, Missy from... Oh, hi, Mindy. How are you? Okay, well, Mindy Nicole makes great toys, but good to see you, Mindy. How are you? That's awesome. Well, thank you for hopping on. So this is a drop pan, and then when you're doing this, this is when you look to see if there's any diarrhea or anything weird in your thing. So I just do a once over, and if it looks good, like here's an example of corn. Okay, and I wash my hands like all the time. So do you see how they hollow out the corn and they toss the rest? So that's what gliders do. Okay, the breeze is like super good in here today. So I want to get this done so it gets nice and aired out before the gliders start waking up. But yeah, so it's really easy. People who have less gliders than me usually just do a wipe down once a day. I don't. I got so much I do. I mean, between going to the laundromat and then doing everything. So I usually do a couple times a week. And then when it's humid, because obviously during humid season, it seems like it's just more, I don't know. It feels like it smells a little more. So then I do drop pans like every 2 to 3 days. So I've been doing this for so long, I just do what works. But please hit that follow. And I do have gliders who are ready to go now, and I'm happy to discuss them with you. I have noticed that there's an uptick in scamma-jammas, and they have new profiles here on the TikTok. So please be aware that pages that say sugar gliders for adoption, sugar gliders for sale, sugar gliders for free, all those are scamma-jamma run sites. So just be careful with that. Okay. I'll see if I missed any questions. Thank you guys for following. I appreciate it so much. I don't know if you're on here, Nellie, but if you are on here, if you see questions I've missed, Nellie is someone who's fantastic, and she pretty much does everything the same way I do. We have different cages, but overall, like quality diet, toys and wheels, all that, she's amazing with it. So she can help answer questions if I missed any. But thank you guys for hopping on and following. Anybody doing anything fun for your Sunday? Okay, I'm just going to kind of keep moving through these since I have a bunch to do. You can tell who has kids by how dirty their drop pan gets. And so they have one kid that was just recently moved out, and she's beautiful. She's a mosaic, and she's now available. And so she's hanging out with a girl colony until she gets picked. A lot of times people ask about the cages. I don't know if you can see in here, but there's a wheel. And so what I do is I sew all my own stuff because I'm picky about what I like. And so these, I call them my pea collectors. And they sit right here because when the glider's running in the wheel, sometimes pea can fling out. So the pea collectors keep everything within the cage. And I don't know if you can see over here, but it's got the toys and then their sleep pouch back here. I do keep kibble in my cages 24/7, and then they have like their water silo, and then they get their fresh food every night. So I don't do just a kibble-based diet. I do kibble in cage 24/7, and then fresh fruits, vegetables, and then a mix made up of bee pollen, vitamins, honey, water, eggs as part of their diet too. The diet is called Go HPW, and so I make that up. I'm hoping these two have babies. They're platinum curly hair, and so I'm very patient. Some gliders, it's not like you wait. Gliders are different, and they choose if they want to put joeys in pouch. It's not like other animals where you set them up to be mated. They live as little married couples, which is so adorable. And they can bicker, which you just heard somebody sniffing or puffing at someone. But so they live as little married couples, and they decide if they want to have babies or not. Some will choose to have babies, some will choose not to have babies, and that's just how they live their life. And it's really sweet to see the dynamic of it, because if you look at them as though they're married little couples, it makes the process a little bit more sweet. Do you know what I mean? And so you don't just put them together and mate them. The boy actually plays a very big role in raising kids. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all the follows. This is really sweet of you to even be keeping up with watching me. So Clancy, Chansley, you're just hanging out today, going to get some coffee. I need some more coffee. But yeah, well, thank you guys for joining in and for doing the hearts and for sharing me out. I see a few people shared me out, so thank you for doing that. Have you had triplets? I have not, Cheetos. That's a cute name, actually. I do have a little bit of a coffee situation where I used to enjoy drinking ciders and to not drink anymore. My husband hasn't drank in several, like over 10 years. And so out of respect for him and then me trying not to drink, I drink a lot of coffee instead. And so I drink coffee in the morning, coffee at night. I used to do cider at night like years and years ago. I think it's been, I don't even know. But so coffee helps me switch from doing cider to coffee. So, but no, I haven't had triplets. I've only known 2 people that have triplets. And would I like to? Sure, I'd love that experience, but they decide, just like that's one thing that's cool too, is like if you have puppies or kittens, like they have big litters. Gliders choose if they want 1 joey to put in pouch or 2 joeys to put in pouch or 3 to put in pouch. I think there's very rarely ever been a glider that put 4 in pouch. But a lot of times, because mom only has 4 nips, doing 4 in pouch kind of wears them out. So it's very rare that happens, but it can happen. It's just incredibly rare. Thank you so much for booping and keeping that going. I think that's really kind of you. But yeah, so these are my cages. They're handmade, homemade. I just felt like I needed something that was going to last. And a lot of times cages rust. I noticed that over the years, and after the illness that went around, that the quality of stuff went down. Like cages I bought 6, 8, 10 years ago didn't rust. But all the newer cages after, I'll call it the vid, I noticed that they just rusted so quickly, and I used to get so frustrated. And so me and a friend, see, there's a mom and a baby and a dad in here. so theirs is more messy. But I was talking with a friend about how frustrating it was because the cages would rust much quicker. And so I had for years wanted to build my own cages. And it just happened to be that this wonderful couple was like, well, we'll help you with it. And I was like, no way. And so we used his workshop. And it's some of the most relaxing thing I can do. Chatting with my friend. Listening to Christian music or podcasts, and then just chatting. I still can't believe what a blessing it's been to be able to do that. But the stress of having to worry about cages rusting, not having that stress anymore because we went all out. Her husband helped map everything out, helped with measurements, and we did the stainless steel. We did stainless steel like hinges, everything to make it where were going to be something that would last for a while. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please, hi. Oh, hey, Texas Sugar Mama, how are you? So yeah, but this is where we got to. We still have a few more, but essentially the metal cages are gone now, which,
You invited me to join.
How did I do that? I didn't even try.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but okay, so I'm gonna hang up. But I don't know how to do all this. You guys got this stuff down. I don't know how to do it all, but thank you for joining in. But I'm gonna disconnect. I'm sorry. I don't know how that happens. Okay. See, I'm terrible with this stuff. Sorry about that. I don't know if you want me to call you Sugar Mama or Gigi, but sorry about that. I pushed the button. I guess when I was like scrolling, it says invite. So I'm sorry about that. Cages look good. Thanks. I actually have different size cages. This is my special needs cage, which is longer and shorter because I've got that glider that has no hands. And then I got one that has an eye issue. And then Guido down here has really bad cataracts. He's 10 and a half. He'll be 11 in October, so we're tracking him to see what his are. And then this is one of my girl colony cages. And then we've got that big boy colony cage. So, yeah, we spent a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of great conversations came out of these cages. So, very happy with how they turned out. But just the ease of moving them around, it just makes a world of difference. So thanks. And then also, I see how I'm doing it. So I'm scrolling on the side here where I can now see there's invite buttons. So sorry about that. Yeah, PVC makes a world of difference. I'm glad I did it. We're still not done, but we're just working off what I had the kidney stone removal, and then they had some medical things that they had to take care of. And then finances. This was a very expensive project, and a lot of time went into as far as we've come. So yeah, it's really been fantastic. It cuts down on the amount of escapees I used to have. The food door is like one of my favorite things ever, because it's just like by the time I'm feeding at night, everybody's running around. And so like you can see the wheel, we built the wheel into the stand. But when everybody's running around, they're always like jumping, excited to see you. And so just doing the food door and sliding it in, it makes it easier. It absolutely cuts down on the amount of escapees. So, but thank you for saying that, Gigi. It's been a lot of work. Plus I like the white. I think the white just brightens up the room. And it shows my cute toys more. Like, I don't know if you can see, like, everything's kind of color coordinating and matching. Each cage has their own theme and then their own toys. That's why toy vendors are so important, is I send the toy vendors the pictures of cage sets I like, and then they design the toys for me. And this is one of my other favorite little toys here. Look how cute this is. It's just like, my gliders just love chewing and playing with all this stuff, and they're just cute. So the gliders don't care that it's cute. That's a human thing, but I do. So But yeah, so I'm gonna end up talking so much I'm not gonna get my stuff done. Let me go grab another odor band. I'll be right back. I think I have to fill one up. Let's see. Yeah, I might have to fill one up. Let me see if I got one more in the bathroom. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay, I do. Okay, sorry about that. I found one in the bathroom. I'll have to fill up my bottles and get that more up to date. I didn't realize I was running out of odor band. Thank you guys so much for hopping on and watching. I appreciate that. What's in the cage? They're sugar gliders. These are pairs of sugar gliders in these individual, like these other cages. And then I've got a big girl colony cage right here that has more than two. But yeah, so those are my sugar gliders. And today is just doing drop pan cleaning day. So I thought I'd hop on and show you. And then also if people have questions, I can help answer questions. So this pan here is like 3 or 4 days of cleaning, but it's just real simple. I use packing paper. I know other breeders use different things. Packing paper just works the easiest for me. And wet wipes and some odor band. I have the windows open because it's wonderful out, and so it just airs everything out so the odor band smell isn't strong. But yeah, I had a lady ask me the other night, might have even been last night, what my cages looked like. And unless you know me, I do a lot of videos on my cages. So I figured if I was going to be doing drop pans, that I would just go live and show you my cages. But because we make them, we're able to do them for different things. Like the bigger cages are for more of the colonies. These other cages are for just the pairs, or some have babies. Some are my pets that are retired out and growing old with me. They'll stay with me until the good Lord calls them home. So I have a variety. But this is kind of just what I do a couple times a week. Sometimes 3 times, depending on weather, sometimes 4 times. But the cost of the packing paper cuts down. I know some people use pine pellets and stuff, but I'm allergic to that, so I can't use that. The packing paper just works easiest for me. And then once I'm done with all these, then it's just sweep and mop, and then we're good for a few days, and then we do it all over again. When I'm not talking, it goes by very quickly. When I'm talking, I'm distracted. But I just like to show you where your gliders, if you're getting gliders from me, where they're raised, and the importance of toys and wheels and enrichment. We do cage covers to protect the walls because gliders do like to toss food around. So cage covers help keep the mess inside. And yeah, there are some good cages that you can buy online. I don't buy stuff from Exotic Nutrition, but their cages are good. And so and this is when you're doing drop pans, it's important to like look for soft stool or anything weird. I do this all the time, so it's just, for me, it's a quick look. I notice if something's off or something's different. But Exotic Nutrition has some really good cages. I know people, Nellie's one of them, who prefers the the double Critter Nations. For me, those doors were too big. I used to have Critter Nations and my gliders were always escaping. It's like they waited for me to open the door and then they jumped from the back and then run out. And they just enjoyed the game. They enjoyed jumping on my head, jumping on my shoulder. But then I would end up playing Chase the Glider, and so I just couldn't do that. That's why my cages have 3 doors. So depending on where the gliders are at, I can open the door that they're not at to avoid it. But my gliders are very social. They're so social. Even with my pet sitter, I'll hear her in here and she'll just be giggling and she'll be like, oh, so-and-so came out of my shoulder. You know, and it's just, it's sweet. It's sweet to see it and to be part of it. But yeah, so I'm just trying to move fast. Thank you guys for following and for liking. That's really sweet of you. If you have questions and I've missed them, I'll try and go back and read them. So each cage only has 2. Out of these ones, yes. And unless there's babies, but there's no babies in those. So, yeah. But when it comes to like my larger cages, like, so this cage only has 2 and there's no babies. This cage has more gliders, but it's also way bigger. Do you know what I mean? That's the beauty of building your own cages, is it makes it where you can determine the sizes and then you just adjust the measurements. It's just very time consuming, like very time consuming. And people think it's just PVC. Well, because we did stainless steel, we had to use the grinders, we had to use the sanders, we had to use, I mean, there's just so much that went into it. And then the PVC cutters and all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Good morning. Oh, hey, good morning, Melissa from Little Bits. Little Bits is a rescue in Texas here. And so she's this very sweet lady. I'm going to pull this cage out when it comes to showing you guys a colony cage. I'll do that in just a minute, though. There's a couple reasons why I wanted to show you this cage, but let me just do this here. And then I'll show you this special needs cage, too. But here, let me just show you the difference between the 3. People always ask if we sell the designs to these cages. We don't yet. We don't because we ran into some complications. I haven't been able to finish the last couple cages because the drop pans are no longer for sale. So that makes it really hard. We're gonna have to adjust the size of the cage, and I haven't figured that out. We can still get those drop pans, and then we can still get these drop pans. So we may be doing the directions to those cages first. The really big boy colony cage, I don't know that anybody would ever want to do that. We've decided we're never doing a cage that size again. It's just too much. We had to combine, it's 2 of these cages combined together, and it's too big for one person to be finagling and moving around. If you have a partner or a spouse who's into that kind of stuff, my husband's not into gliders, and so that's just not his jam. I'm just about done. So that's why I want to show you these other couple cages so you can see the differences between them. So this cage has, down here has 3. Their daughter's getting ready to be moved out. And, but there's only 2 here. This pair is actually going to be available once the boy is neutered. And so there's a variety of fun and personalities and colors and curly hair. And I love my pet-only colonies, and I love my little married couples, whether they have babies or they don't. Oh, let me just show you real quick. Okay. move this out of the way. Sorry, just trying to get my hands clean. All right. Can we talk on the phone? We have PMs so far. Oh, of course. Yes. We can absolutely talk on the phone. I don't know if you got my cell phone number yet. What are in the cages? Sugar gliders. Yeah, thank you, Pregnant Mama, for answering that. But yeah, so they're sugar gliders, and today is just doing drop pan day, but I like to show their setups. And so here, this pair up here, once the boy is neutered, they're going to be available. But this is like my little theme of like little toys. It's a little barn, I guess, and then a toy hanging up here. They really love pulley toys. They love woods. Like here, if you look at this toy here, it's hard being shorter. I have to like stand on my tippy toes to do this sometimes. Okay. So like if you look at this toy here, if you notice this ring, so this ring was put there by one of the gliders because normally it hangs down like this. And so this is called a pulley. So what they would have had to have done is they would have shimmied it over their head or put it in their teeth and then came and wrapped it around here. Gliders are very smart and they have a lot of desire to have their hands on things and to do things. That's why having toys is so important and enriching for them. So since they did that, I'm going to just reset it so that way that they can work on it again tonight. But so this pair is, I don't know if you can see them here. They're absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can even see them there. But they're just watching what I'm doing. They're kind of just used to all the noise and the oopla of what I do. And then there's a pair down here. So this is where they have two in them, okay? So this gives you an idea of the size. Then move this one over real quick. And let me just rinse my hands again. Thank you guys for hopping on and watching. I appreciate it. Are they birds? No, these are sugar gliders. So, yes, sugar gliders. All right, now this one is a special needs cage. I haven't cleaned this one yet. But, oh, oops, I dropped one of them. Okay, so this is one of the toys I took out of their cage. But yeah, the toys are super important. Okay, so this is a special needs cage. It's longer and wider. Okay, so the one girl back here, I don't know if, let's see, you can see her pouch. I've shown on other videos, so if you go on other videos, but there's a pouch back here. Oh, I don't know if you can see this pulley is pulled into their pouch. Do you see that line? Let's see if we can pull this any closer. And then let me see if I can kind of prop this open a little so that way you can see a little more brightness going in. Okay, does that make it easier or harder? I can't tell. All right, so there's a girl in here who has no hands, and they have that pulley going into their pouch. So that means someone took that in there. And then they've got a disc, and then this is one of my cute John Deere green toys. I really like the John Deere green themes. And then down here is another toy and then a wheel. So the girl that has no hands actually runs in the wheel, and I show videos of that. I try to treat my gliders that have special, what is the John Deere green? It's like a theme, a tractor. The girls is the pink and then green, and then the boys is yellow and green. And so they are sugar gliders, yes. Thank you for hopping on. Good to see you, Dawn. A sugar glider is like a marsupial. I will see if I can grab one out in just a little bit for you. I have to wash my hands though. So they're nocturnal. Is daytime the best time to clean their cage? I think so. That's just, again, my opinion. And so what wheel is this? This is a free runner. So this is what I'm talking about. There's other knockoff versions that you can buy, but the free runner is thicker and it's designed for the safety of gliders. The other ones in the back of the wheel, here, let me see if you can see. Okay, hold on. So do you see how much space is back here? That's a few inches. Gliders actually go back behind here. If you see some of the knockoff versions, their tracks are thinner and more sharp, and there's hardly any space. Gliders can pass away if they get caught behind the wheel moving and the wall. So that's why space is so important. I always suggest the safer wheels, because even though they're more expensive, is it really at the cost of your glider being injured? I would rather do the more expensive and pay it up front and have the safety than have to worry about a possible accident happening. We can never control all accidents from happening because gliders are so interactive and they're up and in everything, but we can try to avoid some of it, okay? We can't control nature, so. And then because this girl has no hands and this is stainless steel, I have a mat down here, so that way she can crawl around, and she does. She jumps from one side of the wall to the opposite and interacts, and then they play with all their stuff in here. They chew all this wood. You can't really see, but there's a piece of cork in here that they chew up. And so yeah, it's just, this is how I have it. So it's longer with a pad down here. So that way when she's walking and doing stuff, since she has no hands, it makes it easier. Toys, wheels. Okay, so wheel I get from Free Runner. That's the wheel and the disc from Free Runner Incorporated. And then toys, there's particular vendors I buy from. One is Mindy Nicole for Gracious Glider Gear. One is Ashley Brumford from Critter. I have to look up her name, Critter Creation something. And then DB, she's on here. She makes really cute toys too. So those are my main vendors right now that I work with. But there's a lot of great ones out there. They've been tested for safety, so that's why I like to work with them. Now this here is what I call my P collector, because this is an open track. Remember, gliders have hands, so when they're running, they like grab onto it and they use it as leverage to be able to jump higher and jump faster. And so Tammy's another one, yeah. Tammy made this toy down here. And so that's why the open face is like really important, because they jump in and out and they're running. Some will hold on to the outside while the others are running in the inside. So that's why having the space around is so important. But with the open face, it allows the poop and pee to filter down so the gliders aren't stuck running in their pee. And then I made these little pee collectors here just to keep the pee inside. So if pee does fling out, it doesn't fling out onto our floor. It flings onto this and then goes into the drop pan. So this is the special needs cage design. It's shorter, not as tall, but wider. And so, and I believe it's deeper. So, or close to being the same depth. But then let me show you the girl colony cage, so that way you can see what I'm talking about with that. Smart. I don't try to limit like what goes outside the cages, you know. But so this one here is the girl colony cage. Okay. So there's some downfalls to this cage, which I guess I didn't take into consideration. Okay. There is a wheel that will go on the back over here, but because I can't reach with my arms, I can't put the wheel on. So I'll have to wait until my pet sitter's here to add the wheel. Okay, but then there's all these like toys in here. And then also I have a plate up here, so that way you can feed some of the gliders here. I have a plate over here. And so that the goal is to separate them when you're feeding to prevent them from bickering. I have kibble dishes everywhere. I have water silos everywhere. I have a bunch of cute themed toys on both sides. We've got a disc down here and a wheel down here. And again, another pea collector. But the wheel, do you see how we built it right into the design? Okay, and then one thing about my gliders is they are very heavy chewers, and so that's why toys are so important to us. But we do a lot of natural woods and then the pulleys. But here's something that's really cool. Let me show you. Okay. Here. And this is for if there's toy makers watching. This is one of the reasons why I'm kind of particular about my toys. So here's this apple wood, okay? I like my drill holes to be in the center because my gliders are heavy chewers. And this is an example of why. Do you see how they chewed that? That was the same size as this one, but look at the difference in how they chew. Okay, so this one hasn't been worked on yet, but this one is currently being worked on. When vendors put the drill holes at the top, it's like the rest of it goes to waste for me. Okay, so but yeah, that's why I'm kind of particular about how I like things, is because my gliders are picky eaters and chewers, and I can't say they're picky, they're just destructive. We'll say that. Okay, I can't say they're picky, they're just destructive. We'll say that. Okay, and then same here on this toy. This toy is right above their pouch. Their pouch is huge. Hold on. It's so hard to, okay. But like, do you see how they chewed the center? So thank you so much for the follows and for watching me. I think that's so sweet. Oh, and look, they started chewing on the wheels. So my gliders go after everything, but they love it. Like, that's what we're here for, is we're trying to keep them in the environment that's stimulating for them and enjoyable for them. And so, but here, hi girls. I know. It's okay. So what they did, I've got 2 in here that like to crab. There's 9 total. But do you see how they broke off their wood pieces? These used to be the wood circles. And what they do is they build their little nest. Thank you so much for saying that, Nellie. That's sweet of you. So these are the apple woods that they've broken off and chewed. And what they do is they chew them in their pouch and they kind of nest in them. It doesn't make it fun for laundry day, but they love it. And so what I'll do is when I'm washing their pouch, I'll take some of the things out that seem like they're the most important for them and put them in their new pouch. And this would be some of the woods that I would be doing that with. But yeah, hi, can I see? Let me go wash my hands real quick, and then let me just grab Angel. Let me see if I can grab her real fast. I've been spraying a lot of odor ban on my hands, and I didn't want that getting on the glider, so that's why I wanted to wash them real fast. Plus, I try to keep their smells between each other, okay? Let me see if I can find Miss Angel real quick. Hello! Hi. I know. All right. So here's Angel. Okay. And then here's her pretty tail. And so what I would do, I need to clip her nails, but when it comes to bonding with her, I just shove her in my shirt or my sports bra, okay? And the girl colony, this is a newer colony. I had some already in here, but I enlarged it. And so those girls are still getting used to me and their new group, okay? So let me clip her nails real fast. Let me see if I can just do that quick. Let's see. Let me grab a gotcha pouch too. Hi, pretty girl. And then let me get you a treat since we're going to be doing this. Okay. Hold on. I'm just grabbing stuff for her. All right. Okay. So she's still just right here. Okay. I'll use my boobies just to hold her real quick. Okay. So I'm severely allergic to nails, and her nails are longer, and it's going to cause me a breakout and a rash. So I make a gotcha pouch, and I call it the gotcha pouches because Fleece is super slippery, and when gliders are trying to get out, they just slide right out of fleece. Make sure I locked everything. Okay. Same here. I forget doors a lot. So, where did you get them, and do you keep them individually? They are colony animals. And so colony animals, you need at least 2. Okay. You can build more. There's 9 girls in here, and they all get along. Every once in a while they bicker, but it's very minimal. And then I have a large boy colony too. But they are colony animals, so they need to have a buddy, or they can become depressed or self-harm or not want to eat and that kind of stuff. So I made the gotcha pouch because I needed something that was grippy, where if I was trying to do something with a glider, or if I had an escapee, or I was trying to give meds or whatever, I just put this, and this is my design. I put my hand in here, and then I flip the pouch, and then I grab them, and then roll them in. Okay, so, and this is a terry cloth, so it's more grippy. It's not ever designed to leave in their cage. It's not a safe thing to leave in their cage, okay? So just know, it's not safe for inside the cage, but outside the cage, it's fine. And I kept hearing, I thought I was hearing walking around, but it's the wind blowing. Okay, so what I do is just grab them. I'm going to do it standing up, okay? And then just do this real quick. You can see how pointy her nails are. So I'm just going to snip the tips. Let me see if I can use some of this sunlight. With my age, my vision's getting worse. Okay, so let me see if I can use some of that light. Okay, yeah, way better. I don't know if that's any better for you guys, but you can see how pointy they are. I break out in hives from that. So I'm just going to snip off the tip. Okay, got one front foot done. Now the back, see, she's still just in here, okay? And because it's terry cloth and she's pooping or peeing, it just falls into the pouch, okay? Thank you guys so for watching. This is so fantastic that you are even joining me. So this is her back foot. Let's see if you can see a little better here, okay? So these 2 nails here that are kind of webbed together are her grooming nails. So unless you see them getting caught on stuff, you don't necessarily want to, you don't want to cut them, because they use it for their scratching and cleaning and doing all that, okay? Now the other 2 nails you can clip. They're not kind of connected together, okay? She's like, what is going on? I thought we were doing something sweet, and we're not. Okay, so again, and plus with this being terry cloth, it's thicker, so it makes it hard. If they're going to bite you, you'll feel it, okay? So I'm just utilizing my body. Normally I'd be sitting down, but I'm kind of, my gliders are used to me like impulse. Like if I'm going my gliders are used to me like impulse. Like if I'm going to grab someone and I notice that their nails are sharp, I just grab them and start clipping, okay? That's just a way I like to desensitize them and have them get used to having hands grabbing them, okay? So someone's out here playing. Oh, there she is. She's inside the little bus. I thought I was hearing noises. I had someone ask me, what do you do if your gliders get loose, okay? Or you leave the cage door open and you can't find them. First thing you do is set up a couple of temporary cages, so that way, and then put like food in a pouch in them. And it can just be tiny travel cages. And then 2, turn off everything in your house, secure up your other animals, turn off everything in your house and just listen. Walk around, kind of stomp your feet a little, make some noise and listen. Usually you can hear them moving, or they'll crab at you or whatever. But there's a lot of ways to go about trying to find your gliders. It's super important to make sure that your toilet seats are always down, because gliders have passed away from drowning in the toilet. So it's important to make sure that toilet seats are down. So if you have kids, teach them for the safety of the gliders, keep the toilet seats down, okay? All right, I'm distracted with talking, so that's why this is taking longer. But she's being very good. So, all right, we got the last hand here, I think. Hi. Okay. I don't want to possibly get nipped, so if you notice, I tuck her head back down. I'm not squeezing her or holding her too tight. Okay, she popped her head up over here. I felt it, so I just covered it back up again. Okay. Let me check the back foot to make sure I got the second back foot. Okay, yep. And then let me check this one. Yep, okay. So here she is. And then I brought her a little treat. I don't know if she'll want to eat her treat or if she'll try and jump. A lot of times they try to jump to a cage, which is what she's eyeing up over here is this cage. And I don't want her to. But now when she walks on me, it's much more enjoyable for me because I'm not feeling the little pokiness of her nails. And it's not going to cause me to break out in hives. It just feels softer for me. And so chatting, tapping, and sharing. Yes, hey. She just gave me a little bite of, hey, I'm annoyed with you. It wasn't mean. Okay, so here. What I'm going to do is because I want to continue to interact with her. But she seems a little like, okay, you just clip my nails. You just grab me from my friends. So I'm going to try and see if I can tuck her into my sports bra and get her to just relax for a minute, okay? So I'm going to tuck her down here and let her relax and see if she stays in here. You can see her head poking out, okay? And I'm just going to kind of cover up and give her a chance to just kind of mellow down from all of that. And she's like, no, thanks. Okay. So now let's try down here. See if she wants to go down here. Okay, these little overalls, it's not like these are like safe for gliders, but supervised, it's not a big deal. So she may want to tuck down in here, or she may not. But let me offer her a treat. Okay. So she took her treat, and she still wants to run and eat her treat, but she's eating her treat, okay? You're a very good girl. She still wants to go, okay? So what I'll do is, let's see if I can. I don't want her jumping on that other cage. Oop, which she just did. So now we got an escapee. And see, their natural instinct is to want to jump up. Okay? All right. So, I don't know if you saw that, but gliders, when they run, their natural instinct is to jump up. Unless they're baby joeys, they don't know to jump up. But that's what she did. And so since she was just running on the floor, it wasn't very long, but I haven't mopped yet. So I'm just going to wipe her belly down with an unscented wet wipe. Okay? But you can tell, like, she's a good girl. Like, she's just like a super amazing glider. It's just with me, if I was sitting down on the couch watching a movie, she'd be curled up in my sports bra. I'm up, moving cages, talking to you guys, doing all this stuff. So that's why she's a little more wound up right now. I don't let them run all over the house, no. Some people have safe rooms for them to be in, but I don't. This one, she was hand raised. Well, she was partially hand raised. White, Angela had passed away before we went to Japan. And so my friend Jana helped raise her and got her through the hump while we were in Japan. And so Jana fed her, but Dwight actually helped raise her. So yeah, her tail is gorgeous. Dwight and Angela are by far one of my most bonded pair. Dwight now has a new wife. She's retired out. Dwight has been neutered, and they'll live the rest of their lives with me. But Angela, she gave her life for this little Joey. She was on medications for her dental, but it was too much, and so she didn't make it. It's not even been a year. It'll be a year at the end of May, and so I did keep her, and she's in my pet only colony as a remembrance. And so her name is Angel. And so Angela was the mom, and then Angel is what Jana named her because she's a little blessing. And Angel is close to Angela. So, yep. But yeah, so I'm going to see if I can get her to kind of wind down. And but yeah, so this is an example of how dads play a huge role in raising the kids. They clean them, they keep them warm, they do all that. They teach them how to eat. Thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate this so much. And so she's a product of a really good daddy. Down here in this special needs cage, I have a glider named Guido. And Guido was also one who helped raise one of my boys. His name is Martin. And so, what are you doing? Okay. So I'm going to see if I can just tuck her down. See if I can get her to calm down a little. But you can tell she's not like crabbing. She's not upset. She's just a little high strung right now because of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And so Guido helped raise his son. Guido's wife passed away. Here, I'll put her back. Passed away, what was it, like 6 years ago or so? And I'm just waiting for her to jump off me. She may not want to jump off me. I thought this is what she wanted. Now I think she's just like, I'm done with your hands, lady. So we're just waiting to see what she does. There we go. All right. So now she's like, all right, I'm going back in. But she's the kind of glider, like if I didn't have the cages around me, she would just stay on me. But because the cages are close, it makes it easy for them to jump to them. And I don't necessarily like that because if she were to jump to this cage and they were out and about, they would attack her. I don't know if you could see back here, but she was crawling up the cage back here. If she were doing that at night, the gliders would try and attack her. They're very protective of their space. And so that's why I try to, when I have them out, I try to have them not around the other cages. But these are great questions people are asking. How many do you have? Well, it varies. I have my keepers. I have my I don't call them breeders. They do have babies, but they're like little married couples to me that each have their own personalities and have their own wants. Some moms, it's not like breeding a dog or a cat. Moms choose when they have babies, if they have babies, and how many babies they want. So to me, they're not like breeders. They're married couples that I love very much. So my numbers vary. Like right now I have gliders that I'm looking to rehome. So even though I have them, they're not ones that I'm intending to keep forever. I'm waiting for the right families to come along. So my numbers fluctuate on what I have. Like I have colonies of neutered boys that are my keepers. And so I know a lot of breeders just have breeders. But for me, I have like Guido's 10 and a half. He'll live the rest of his life with me. Dwight is like almost 8. He'll live the rest of his life with me. And then Marilyn is almost 9. She'll live the rest of her life with me. So I become very emotionally attached to my gliders. So I don't look at them as though they're breeders or numbers. I have ones that I intend to find homes for, and then I have ones that I intend to keep forever. So that's why I don't ever really say what the numbers are, because it varies based on who's choosing to have babies. And I also don't just sell to move them along. I really want to find a home where you guys feel like I'm a good match for you as a breeder and as a mentor, and then I feel as though you're a good match for my gliders. The gliders can live 10 to 15 years, so I want you to feel comfortable having a relationship with me as they're going into their senior years. You know what I mean? Plus, we learn from each other. You know, you may experience something that I haven't experienced, therefore we learn from each other. So I do sometimes sit on gliders. I carry all ages. I have some that are younger, and then I have some all the way up to 6. Some are retired out breeding pairs, and I'm just waiting for the right people to come along that I feel like, hey, this is a match, and you feel like, hey, this is a match. So and my numbers vary. But these are great questions. Thank you so much. I'm just kind of surprised, like when I look and see there's like 70 or 100 or 200, or the other night there was 900. I can't believe that so many people are watching me, and I'm just so grateful for that. So grateful. And yeah, so please feel free, if you're interested in gliders, send me a message, and I'm happy to like do FaceTiming with you or show you possibilities, find out what you might be looking for, show you some options. And then since I am in Texas, we do have transport that goes nationwide. And yeah, but their cage is the last one I need to do. So I'm probably going to hop off here so I can go spend some time with my husband today. And then I'm going to try and come back on a little bit this evening and do the daily devotional and maybe introduce you to another baby that will be looking for a family. But I do have videos. I prefer to, I know some people get really cute pictures of their gliders. I do, but I don't. For me, I like to send you videos of me interacting with them, so that way you can see how hands-on I am with them. I think that for me, that's important for you guys to see me interacting with them, because when you choose them, I can help show you how to interact with them. You know what I mean? And plus, to get one good picture, you have to take like 50. Okay, I try to get a good picture, but they're always in my hands. And then to me, doing a video actually shows you me interacting. Do you know what I mean? Like I can like kind of just reach in. I'm okay with crabbing. Okay with showing you that stuff because that's what gliders do. And I'm very hands-on with them. And there's a lady a couple nights ago that was concerned that I was squeezing them too tight. Gliders can escape if they want to. Their fur is just kind of like, I don't know if it's like slippery velvet or what, but they can just slip right out from you if they really want to get away from you. So it's not about holding them tight. It's about being confident in how you're holding and letting them know that they're comfortable and safe with you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, somebody just bickered. So sometimes they get annoyed with each other. Like they have that whole pouch. It goes like to the back, but they all still sleep on top of each other. So I don't know what. If it were me, I'd be like, get away from me. But sometimes they're like, get your foot off my face, or your nose is in my butt, or I probably shouldn't have said that. But they do that. Like you look in the pouch and you're like, how do you guys sleep like that? But that's their choice, you know? So, but yeah, I'll do this last drop hand, but I'll hop off. So please, if you find my content helpful, share it with others. If you find that you're interested in gliders, or reach out to me. I am happy to talk on the phone and FaceTime with you. As always, if you see my content being used elsewhere, Hope Sugar Gliders and Boutique is me. Scamma-jammas like to use my info to obviously harm. So I will talk with you on the phone or do FaceTime with you. Be aware that Sugar Gliders for free, Sugar Gliders for adoption, Sugar Gliders lovers, Sugar Glider Paradise, Sugar Glider enthusiasts, and then Sugar Gliders for rehoming. All of those are Scamma-jamma run sites. On the Book of Faces, there's over 50 bad pages and groups, so be aware of who you're purchasing from. And then if you find people are looking for gliders, if my content helps you, please refer them to me. So thank you guys so much, and I'll be on hopefully tonight. It may not be as long, but I've got feeding and stuff to do. So thank you so much for watching and joining me. I know Sundays are relaxation days, so I really appreciate you guys taking time to hang out with me. Thank you, Nellie, and thank you, Dawn, and Melissa and those guys. Thank you all for watching and partaking, helping answer questions. I appreciate it. So thanks, guys. Bye.